Typing 2. How are you today? It's Thursday. Cruz, Linda Baxter, 62, Nikki D, Victor. Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday. I hope it's nice wherever you are. I'm in California. We're still battling poor air quality. Our firefighters are still battling out of control fires, so please say a prayer for them and their families. It's a tough time out here in California in terms of our climate. So I want to give a special shout out to all of the firefighters here and who have come from around the country to help us here in California. But today I'm super excited, super excited. I wanted to do something fun and also interesting. I'm a perpetual organizer myself, and I know millions of other people are as well. And we're going to talk the home edit life today. We're going to talk with Clea and Joanna, who have written this fantastic book. They also have this incredible new Netflix series called Get Organized with the Home Edit. I know a lot of people who are watching it. I myself am really interested in the phenomenon behind organization, behind organizing. That wasn't something I grew up with. When I was a young mom, people didn't talk about organizing the way they do today. And I think during COVID, people have spent so much time at home, they're like overwhelmed by all the stuff they have, or they're really kind of becoming very familiar and intimate with their surroundings, and they want to get organized, they want to get order, they want to feel, I guess, like they have control of something, while everything else feels so kind of out of control. So I'm super excited to welcome these two women who started this business together, came together, and it's just become a phenomenon. And I think that's also super interesting, that you can really start a business if you're passionate about something and other people share your passion. You can make a living at it, you can do really well at it. And these two women built a friendship and a business online and then on Netflix and everywhere else. So I'm really excited today there they are, to talk to them, because I'm constantly, as my kids will tell you, trying desperately to live this kind of life. There they are.
Hi!
Hi.
What an honor! Oh my gosh, we are just. Oh my gosh! Yeah, not worthy of this. No, thank you so much.
Well, I want to live like your book. I want to live like, I just want to live. I want to live like you tell us to live. So first of all, congratulations to you both. I'm so proud of you and so happy for you. What's this moment feel like in your lives?
Truly the biggest pinch me situation.
Yeah, we are just, we have no words, and we're not usually speechless.
No, we usually have a lot of words. And,
yeah.
You know, we didn't have this on our bingo card, talking to Maria Shriver.
No, we did not know that was in our cards.
No.
So use your words, like we always say. What are your words? This is a kind of out-of-body experience. You started this business, and you certainly didn't have an expectation that you'd have best-selling books and a Netflix series, right?
No, we certainly didn't. We started our business 5 years ago, exactly, in August of 2015, and we had aspirations about being just excellent organizers.
Yes.
That was just our main goal.
Big aspirations about being excellent organizers.
And you know, we had organizing dreams, organizing goals. But no, we certainly weren't like, you know, I want a hit Netflix show. That's what I want. So
right, or a book.
We're very lucky.
Why do you think this has taken off? What do you think it is about this moment that everybody is saying, I got to get organized?
Well, I think organization for us, we started realizing that the world it was resonating, you know, like that it felt satisfying. It gave people a little sense of calm and order. And now in 2020, my goodness, if you can have a moment of calm or something that you feel like you can control.
Yeah.
You know,
that's what I was saying.
Yeah, I think it just
so
really
many
helps.
people are at home really for the first time. I know that I usually travel every single week, and this is the longest I've been in my home, I think, in my life. Right? And I've always been an organizer, but I think people are coming face to face with what they own, what works, what doesn't, and trying to find a sense of calm in their lives. Is that what you're feeling? Is that what people are telling you?
Yes, I believe that is exactly right. And right now everything feels so out of control. So if there's any little junk drawer that you can even get your hands on and control that goes a long way these days. Just feeling like there's something you can manage yourself and make you breathe deeply.
And just to you said it exactly. Our homes are working so hard for us right now. We're home so much that I think that not only is it like getting something under control, but it's all you have. Like it's your complete environment all the time. So I think more than ever it's helpful.
Now, so this is kind of, I'm interested in what you think is below the fad. It's not just about organizing, because you can organize, but what is it that you think people feel that their stuff represents for them, and when they get control of their stuff, so to speak?
I mean, I think it's just like an overall encompassing environment, and it's all of our identities, are wrapped up in not just our things, but in our spaces. It's reflective of who we are, and I think that it gives you a mental clarity and a less chaotic personal feeling when your space is organized. And I think that that's a lot of what people are striving for. Just like that, you need the physical decluttering, but the mental decluttering also comes with that. And I think that it just is a calming sense. I think that that's actually why it resonates more than just the eye candy piece.
Right.
I think it feels good.
It does. It's like, the old thing about making your bed every morning. I mean, I think there's so much truth to that. One, you just feel like you did something that day. And I think it just gets you started on the right foot. And if nothing else, at least you made your bed that day.
If nothing else.
If the whole day goes awry, at least you made your bed.
Right.
So, I sort of feel like that with organizing too. Like, at least you can wake up and have a clean space and a clear head.
So now I think this is good. It's the no guilt guide to owning what you want and organizing everything. Now I've tried the Marie Kondo kind of sparking joy, and I got to the picture frame thing, and then I just fell down. And so how is it different what you're advocating? And you make a really good point in the book that you're not saying minimalism and organization are two very different things.
Yeah, and first of all, Marie is such a hero of ours. And, I think that we've always kind of been two sides of the same coin, in the sense that
we're the bull of the China shop side of the coin.
Right. She has such a spiritual approach to decluttering, and I think that that's really incredible. And Joanna and I are obviously huge fans of the edit. We put it in our name, but our brains move toward the containment and the organization aspect. And I think that, it's not that it's without rules. You can't just have everything in the world that you want. We all have space constraints, and our golden rule is no space should be more than 80% full.
I love that. Talk a little bit about that, because I think that's so smart, the 80-20 rule.
Well, it really comes from the way we're supposed to eat. Once you get over 80%, you start to physically feel uncomfortable, and your home is not dissimilar.
Right. It's really true. I mean, you have X amount of space.
Right. And whether or not you have a huge house or a small house, there is still a finite amount of space. If you keep collecting, you will run out. It doesn't matter. So we apply this rule for everything. And that 20% of breathing room allows you to maybe get dessert sometimes, maybe bring in something new into the house. You're not crammed and just frustrated and not feeling great.
And I think people don't like to put things away because their spaces are crammed. And knowingly or not, I think you're just like, oh, I don't even feel like putting it away, because you just remember how tight something is. Your fingers are going to get jammed in the drawer, or you're pushing your hangers so close together. I think having that 20% breathing room just takes that away.
Yeah.
What has been the biggest surprise to you about people that you have met, about the homes that you've gone into, about how you have transformed people's lives?
I mean, I'll let Joanna give her own, but for me personally, my favorite thing it's the doubters. The ones who are like, this isn't gonna, whatever. Sometimes it's like the spouse or, whomever. And it's so fun when they're like, wow, that's great. That's really good. So that really makes me happy, feel vindicated.
And I guess for me too, is that the systems work. If you put the time into thinking through what systems work for you and your household, those become plug and play systems, and they're not so hard to maintain. They take maintenance, and we always, it's like any regimen. You exercise, dye your hair, whatever it is. It's, it's maintenance required.
Right. It's not a one and done.
No. But, you know, once you think through the system and are smart about it and put the time and effort in on the front end, you really reap the benefits forever.
And I do love when we revisit a house, we run into the spaces.
We knock the client over and want to see the space that we've done before to see how it's looking.
And a lot of times it looks excellent.
It really, it's amazing. We're very proud.
But I think what's so interesting to me is because I think this is really quite deep. And that people, I think it's not like, you know, there's something about you that happens when you let go of things, right? And it might be a memory, it might be something that reminded you of a time, but that it's really transformative, as you said, to people's kind of inner peace. It's a spiritual experience in a way for people. Right. That surprised you, the way people are just, how it transforms them?
Absolutely, in the best way, because it took us a while to realize that organizing is can be a form of self-help, or in our purposes, a way for us to help people find that mental inner peace, that wellness component. And I mean, we've had the most unbelievable conversations with our clients who have cried, it dug things up in them that they just didn't experience. And not even just because of the memories of certain things. Sometimes it's because they've had such a chaotic living and they didn't grow up this way and they didn't grow up with this order, and they're just so emotional about it and overcome that we were able to help them kind of sort through all the contents of their life. It's just really.
And I think people also need to feel exonerated of their guilt. Sometimes they just need someone in the corner to be like, you know, I know your sister-in-law gave you that, but why is it taking up that much space if you don't even like looking at it for all these years? Right. You know, I think people feel so guilty all the time. And I think somebody saying, you know what, it's okay to move something along. You know, give it to somebody else who will really be excited about it, or maybe store it in a different space that doesn't have to, every time you walk by, you're not frustrated.
Right. So we try and be everyone's cheerleaders.
Yeah. So what do people do? They can't get you to come to their home. They can watch you on Netflix. They can buy the book, and the book is really good. I was going through it last night, and then my daughter came and she was, "Can I take it?" I go, "No. I have to have it here."
All right, we'll send her one.
We have a couple extra.
But I think, you know, for people who can't get you and can't even begin, they don't know how to start.
Sure.
What's your best advice? What are the 3 things all of us can do to start?
Joanna's going to start because it's her favorite.
It is. Okay, first of all, start very small.
Yes.
You want to start with something that you can see the process all the way through from start to finish, so that you get your confidence up and you can see how transformative one small space can be, which will allow you to imagine the larger spaces.
Right. If you start with the huge spaces, you can get really paralyzed quickly. So you want to just wrap your head around the process, and then you can extrapolate it.
Like a junk drawer is a perfect example, or a bathroom drawer.
Yes. And where can you donate things to?
Sure. I mean, first of all, it depends.
My daughter, Catherine, just came on. She goes, I'm a fangirl. She's
we love Catherine.
Yes.
We love Catherine. You can donate to all sorts of local charities and organizations. Clothing is a great thing to be able to pass on and donate, especially with people who need kind of to get back into the workforce and things like that, to have, you know, nice clothing, or children's clothing, especially in these times, is super helpful. But, you know, that brings us to our other very critical tip, which is purge.
Yes.
Purging, just like Marie says, decluttering, it costs nothing. It is transformational in your home.
It's the number one transformational piece of this.
Yes. Getting your house to have only the contents that you love, need, or use it's powerful, honestly. Knowing that everything in your home that you have looked at it, addressed it, and made the choice that it should be there, and that you've dedicated a space for it, is just, it's
80%.
It's just amazing. You know where everything is. Your house is just free of the things that you don't like.
You know how many scissors you have in your home. You know, you're not like, do I have scissors upstairs? I can't remember. You literally have a mental inventory of all those things, because you've gone through each space, purged out things that you don't want.
Oh, I get so excited.
I know.
When my husband's like, do we have Scotch tape? I'm like, third drawer down to the left. I love it. It's you know.
No, I know.
I love it.
Okay.
Okay, so listen, there's a lot of people my age, who are what I call boomers, and they have storage units.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you do? They kept things like me, thinking that your kids would want your stuff or want your parents' stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think there are millions of people my age who are downsizing, who are coming face to face with their storage units, and wishing there were people like you for storage units. Have you dealt with that? Have you dealt
Oh,
with
yes. Yes.
Oh.
Storage units are and sometimes people's storage units are their garage or what, it's people, I think memories and keepsakes and things that have been passed down, all of that stuff, it's deferred items, it's a deferred maintenance type of situation. And while you don't need to stay on top of it like you do every inch of your house, like we say, maybe even quarterly, seasonally would be a good idea. Things like that, like those big overarching storage spaces, you still need to kind of keep on top of it at least maybe once a year, every couple of years, to just make sure that the things that you're keeping are actually still the things that you want.
I mean, sometimes people just move from house to house and the boxes have never been opened for 30 years and they're sitting in a storage unit that they're paying $400 a month for,
Yeah.
So we always think about it too as, it's money. Each item is taking up space, which is essentially real estate.
Right.
Either in your house or a storage unit.
So you have to go through it.
When I was a young mother, this movement wasn't going on.
Right.
It wasn't, and I don't know, it's because we didn't have social media, but what do you think it is about this moment or this time that has kind of given birth to such a movement like this?
I think that there are a few things at play, certainly, and I would say I sound like I work for Marie Kondo. I do not, but I do think that she really did help actually really usher in this movement of feeling like, okay, I'm both mentally decluttering, physically decluttering, like that is a huge process. And I think that, organizing is not a new career. It's not a new thing, but I think that with social media, and I know that we certainly leveraged it very early on, people were able to visualize what an organized space actually could look like. And I think that it resonated in ways because people didn't see it as just like a chore of like, I'm cleaning up. They're like, oh my gosh, like this can actually look like that. I could just leave the pantry door open.
It becomes more into the decorating world rather than the cleaning world. And one is a chore. Like cleaning usually feels like a chore for people, but decorating feels like an opportunity.
And even if it's not decorating, it's so aesthetically pleasing to the eye. And I think that people didn't even know that existed, So I think that I personally think that social media actually really helped bubble it up so that people appreciated it and didn't just think of it as, again, a chore.
So now you girls, you became friends and then you built this business. What is
sort of? Well, you're going to think we're crazy.
We are crazy.
We met because we went on a blind friend date in Nashville and we got up from that lunch as business partners. So we started our business the same day we met. Again, not advisable. I'm not suggesting people do that, but that's just the way it happened for us.
And what would you say, what advice would you give to two people out there who say like, I want to try that. I want to, I just lost.
I mean, Joanna can give her own opinion to this, but I would just say if you have an instinctual gut feeling about something, go with it and just don't be afraid.
And bet on yourself. I mean, why not?
Yeah, I agree. I think that I spent a lot of my life, I grew up in Los Angeles, it's like it's scary to like step out and feel, like, okay, I'm just going to start something myself. I don't know. I'd always worked for other companies. I never had owned my own business. And when we moved to Nashville, I was like, I'm not going to be intimidated. I'm not going to be afraid. I'm just going to do it. And I mean, thank goodness I did. So.
You surprised?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, of course you're surprised.
Beyond.
I think that's such a great piece of advice to anybody's listening because so many people have lost jobs or are sitting there thinking like, what can I actually do? I have another daughter who's so smart about all the clean products that you put in the house and the humidifiers and all this. And I said, you should turn that into a business.
Do it.
People don't want to, put out in front, they think like, well, why would anybody hire me? But you're to say like, just step out and step into belief in yourself.
Right. And then, you know what? And if something doesn't work, so it doesn't work. Not everything's going to work.
Plenty of failures.
Absolutely. And you learn from those too. They're very valuable experiences. So it's not just the success. You probably learn more from your failures, really.
Honestly. And I think that, we like to say, especially in moments like this, I mean, 2020, what a year. But in these moments, I think comes the biggest innovators and the biggest creators. And, I bet that so many people in quarantine, they're probably have written the best songs of their life or the best books of their life. Or, I just believe that people are so resilient, especially like in their ability to innovate. And I think that I think it's a great moment to start something for yourself.
Absolutely.
Is there going to be a season 2? People are asking.
We don't know.
You could just call Netflix. I don't know. Put in a good word. Look,
Okay.
the more people watch it, the more we'll have a season 2.
That's
So
true.
Well, for sure. And then you have to come to help me with my.
We're in.
oh, we'll do that anyway.
My kids are like, Mommy, you have got to get rid of the frames. You have got to get rid of
We'll
them.
help you, Maria. We'll help you.
We'll help you. Well, I want to thank you girls so much. I'm so happy for you. The Home Edit Life, the No Guilt Guide to Owning What You Want and Organizing Everything. They have a lot of really good life tips in here. I mean, this is really, it's much more than organizing, which everything is always so much more than what you think it is, right? And there's really good kind of life advice in here. I love the 80-20 thing. I love getting Christmas in October. I wrote myself a note about that this morning. But I think also thinking about your space, your pantry, things that used to be kind of off limits, thinking of them as places that are calming and beautiful, because when you're calm and at peace, you can go out into the world and be a better leader, a better human, a better parent. So it's also intrinsically connected.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to
Couldn't have said it better.
I know.
thank you, girls. Congratulations.
Thank you so much
Thank you
for
for
having
everything.
us. It's such
Such
an
an
honor.
It's a big bestseller. I'm sure it already is. So
Oh,
Thank you so much, Maria.
thank you. Love the balloons. Come
Okay.
visit.
Bye.
Bye. Those girls are so great. So the book is called The Home Edit, and it's Clea and Joanna, and the No Guilt Guide to Owning What You Want and Organizing Everything. And it makes you reevaluate your relationship with stuff. It helps you to let go. It helps you to understand that your things that you don't need might really be a tremendous present and gift to somebody else, particularly at this time in their life. And it's also a great way to bring your family together and to teach organizational habits to people at a very young age. I did not do that well. I did have a pick up your toys mantra, but I did not have this. And wow, even the refrigerator is super organized, and gosh, everything's color coordinated. It's really, oh wow. So I want to thank those girls so much. I'm going to be back here in about an hour or two. We're going to talk to Jane Fonda about her new book, about turning despair into being hopeful, how to take action when it comes to the climate. And certainly we're seeing climate change all around us, particularly out here in the West where you can't even go outside and breathe because there's still so much smoke. And as I started this morning saying, you know, prayers for all our firefighters, people who are working on the front lines to help other people. I think that conversation with Jane Fonda a little bit later on right here will be great. I think she's been an activist really for so many decades, and she's really committed to making a difference on climate change. And she'll give you some practical steps if you're interested in doing your part and doing things just like you're organizing your house. There's a lot of things you can do in your house to be helpful in climate change. So we'll see you in a little bit. Thanks so much.